Hey guys, it's me Tim, and also Happy-Tec, and today we have a new gun. I am really excited because this is one of my dream guns I've ever wanted, just in general, an airsoft, because I'm a really huge cowboy fan, if you haven't, like old western type, weapon type fan. So when I found out on Revolver Airsoft, they actually made a 6mm version of this gun. I had to get one immediately. In fact, here it is. This is the Co2 Peacemaker, and I just love it. This let me open it up. As you can see, I had to go through Hong Kong, so U.S. Border Customs Protection had to look at it, and they did. And here we go. Unboxing. You get your instruction manual, which comes in like 4 different languages, so that's cool. You get your bag of shells, and that's pretty much it. Get to the gun. It's out of the way. This is the gun. Features include not really much. You got safety here, which pretty much locks the trigger and locks the hammer here. It's actually pretty hard to push in and out, so there we go. You have the hammer, of course, which is single action, meaning pull the trigger, nothing happens. Pull the hammer back, pull the trigger, and now it shoots. The sights are very, very minimalistic. They're like kind of hard to actually acquire at times. Let me put my finger there. Yeah, it's like a really small notch. You have to line up in there. Pretty hard at times, but there we go. Gun does put it half cock, and the gun actually does use shells. There we go. It uses these kind of metal shells, and normally these shells you put 1 BB in, and normally these guns use shells for that extra factor of realism, and most people would say that would make these guns not usable for skirmishing, and I can see why, but being that I'm crazy and I've always wanted to use one of these in a skirmish, I decided to pretty much go out and get another one. This one's my first one. This is my second one. I wanted to always do wield these, so there we go. This is the blued version. As you can see, it's been dinged up and scratched up because I dropped it many times learning how to gun spin it. And there we go. This is the newest one, and they're both really fun to shoot. And so move it out of the way. This is pretty much the Co2 Peacemaker, and really just, I don't know, I was really excited to see one of these in airsoft, because if you don't know, there have been air gun peacemakers before, Co2 and all that, but they've been mostly chambered for like the BBs, which are these ones right here. They've been chambered for these ones, but when I found out on Red Wolf that Gun Haven had made a custom version chambered for the 6mm, or in case you don't know what similar is, this one. I just had to get it, so I did. And these guns cost for retail up for about $160, $175 from Red Wolf Airsoft. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to buy one. And there we go. Anyway, enough of me rambling about my excitement, and let's get to the shooting test. And we are back. As you can see there, it takes a little bit a while to load and shoot. And if you look closely, I had both peacemakers on I was wearing on my belt. But regardless, I can definitely see why people say it's not skirmish worthy because how long it takes to reload and load. But if you're crazy like me, to want to try and use 2 of these as your sidearms or primaries, whatever. I don't see why not. But anyway, in terms of the accuracy is actually not that bad, actually. I'm not sure if you can see it. There you go. Flip it around. You can see all the holes here. Let me see if I can use my pencil to like open them up a bit, because on camera it's kind of hard to see with this lighting. And that's pretty much the grouping. In fact, the grouping is actually not that bad. Here's just a standard water bottle. And it's actually shooting pretty close to it. And yeah, as you can see, I got like 1 bullseye, but like most of it's like in this area. And this is definitely really good for accuracy because, as always, the target's in the shoot like 35, 40 feet. And if you're able to hit this with a gun that does not have any hop up on it, because this gun is a fixed hop up, there's pretty much no hop up at all. And it's shooting 400 FPS. That's actually pretty good accuracy considering. So that's pretty good. The gun does shoot at 400 FPS, and if I were to I would not use the standard 2.2s. I'd use 0.25s or 0.30s because this gun shoots hot, like 400 FPS, depending on what BBs you use, and it's a really fast-firing gun. And these shells are also interesting because you can unscrew the heads, and you can, I guess, I see why, replace the little O-ring in there in case that were to wear out. But if you don't want to do that, because these bullets are expensive, like a pack of these is like 18 bucks on Red Wolf, and I think last time I checked it's out. I'll leave a link to that too if you want to get that. Little quick tip I found out. It turns out the gun can actually use these, the Dan Wesson CO2 shells. Not as nice looking, if I may admit, as the real the Gunhaven versions, because this is made by Gunhaven through Umarex. I don't know how that works, or Umarex through Gunhaven. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. And it says Gunhaven. The Dan Wesson CO2 shells actually work in this, and I did make a video on that, so I'll probably put that out later. But anyway, if you're in a pinch and you do have this gun, but you can't manage to find these shells, no worries. A little tip from here. You can use CO2 Dan Wesson shells, which is an actual video I make on Happy-Tec, and I'm sure to release that later. But anyway, enough of that. This is the Colt. Let me get another one. These are the Co2 Peacemakers. I even only fired this one. This is the Co2 Peacemaker airsoft, and I just was really happy to find out that Gunhaven did make a 6mm custom version of the Peacemaker, because normally these would be chambered in 4.5 rather than 6mm. So when I saw these, I pretty much jumped at the chance to get these as soon as I can. In fact, if these are the only 2 I can get at the time, as of now, after, in the future, because, maybe these are limited edition, I'm more than happy with these 2 right here, because these right here are one of my favorite guns. So, and, that's it. These guns are really fun to fire, and, as a backyard plinker, or if you're crazy like me, try and use these in airsoft. These are pretty fun. And in case you're wondering, no, these are not, unfortunately, full size to the 45. These are more of 357 scaled, because here is a 357 shell, and here is the actual Gunhaven bullet. Both are very similar. And in case you're wondering, it does indeed fit in there, as you can see there. And there we go. Anyway, the gun does have an actual ejector, I forgot to mention, and it's a nice little feature, even though you don't ever use it on the airsoft. It's nice that they actually added that feature. So there we go. Anyway, that's it. That is the airsoft. I don't know what I want to call this gun. The Gunhaven Co2 Peacemaker 6mm custom, I guess? I don't know, because that's what it said on Red Wolf, I believe. I'm just going off memory right now. But anyway, this is the airsoft Peacemaker, I'll just call it. And these are very nice guns. If you do want to buy these, I'll leave a link to where you can get these from Red Wolf. If they're available, buy one, because these are fun. And there we go. Anyway, enough of me drooling over these things. My name is Tailman. I was just happy I prefer. As always, you guys, be chill.